So I wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody here at Car Seat Advice UK for submitting questions for the question and answer session that I've got today with the BeSafe Beyond system. The first question I'm going to ask, because I've got a helper, is don't suppose you could find a big kid to put in an RF, only seen pictures of a big kid in it sideways, wonder how much space there is to get the kid into because it's higher than a non-spin. So I've got Joey who is going to run over. Joey is around about 105 centimetres. And if he can jump up. And we'll fasten Joey in here. Can you sit back? Thank you. Okie doke. So I'm going to just lower the headrest a bit so we can see that there is actually a bit of space here. We can bring this down. Good few notches. And the shoulder straps are running now level with the shoulder, so we'll fasten Joey in here. Tighten you up. And spin you to the back, and there you go. You cross your legs. There you go. So, just for some context, this is, as a kid, around about 105 centimetres in the rear-facing version of the Beyond. So a huge thank you to Joey for helping us out there with sitting in the seat. And just to show you, I'll put my hand here at the underside of the headrest and raise it up just to show the extent as to which it can travel upwards from where it was. The space there is around about 10 centimetres, so that would really equate to probably just over 20 centimetres worth of child that can fit in the seat. So it stacks up with him being around about 105. The headrest will easily allow you to accommodate, the headrest height, will easily allow you to accommodate up to the 125 limit for the seat. The Beyond system does have a couple of different seats, and it lets me run on to this first question on the list. Would like to see the second stage seat and the spin function. So this is the second stage seat. It does come in two different models, the Beyond, which is a rear-facing only version, and the Beyond 360, which will rotate all the way around and also forward face. The Beyond is Swedish Plus tested, it rear faces only, and will take a child up to 125 centimetres or 22 kilograms, whichever of those numbers is reached first. And the other seat, the Beyond 360, will also take exactly the same height and weight of child. So it's pretty straightforward to rotate the seat. When it's at the side of the car, just turn it around and it will lock into place. Down where my hand is now, there is a button that you'll push in, and this button will control two things. It will control the angle of recline, and also when this button is pushed in, that's what you're going to push to allow you to rotate the seat to the side of the car. Okay, so the next question is a bit of a difficult one to answer. It says, I would like to know how thick the base is. And the reason I say it's difficult to answer, I'm not entirely sure in what way you mean thick. So I'm presuming you mean the underside to the top of the base. So just as a categoric answer, it's going to vary. Right now in the centre of the base, it's 9 centimetres. As you move towards the front, it does narrow down, and towards the back of the seat, it increases. However, due to the way that this base is fitted, it's designed intentionally to float in many cases, because it's got this levelling piece here that will mean that in order to get the perfect fit, you have to increase the leg length so that you've got this sitting at the right angle to accommodate the seat in its optimum position. So it's really going to be car to car dependent, and varying on the pitch and the angle of your car's own seat will determine an exact measurement from the top of the car seat to the top of the base. So as I say, if you've got a flatter car seat, like this rig here, you're going to have a wider space, so that gap is going to be greater. If you've got a more pitched, a more angled seat in the back of your car, the space will be less. The next question is, would like to know the size front to back so I know how much space it takes up in the car. I'll give you this as a two-part answer again, or maybe a three-part actually, because with the next stage seat, the Beyond, I've got this with extended legroom. This brace here at the front of the Isofix base is manoeuvrable, and you can manoeuvre it to increase the leg room available to the child. So I've got this at its maximum because I presume that you're looking for its the maximum space it's going to take up, although we will measure it again and confirm the shortest distance too. So again, there's going to be a slight variance car to car, just dependent on how deep the ISOFIX is and a couple of other things on angle. But I'm measuring it here. I've got my hand at the back here with a distance of 65 centimetres, and we'll also do a check with it at the shortened legroom and also with the infant carrier. Okie doke, and this is, now I've reduced this space down, brought the rebound bar brace back to a more upright position, which allows the ISOFIX arms to shorten, takes the depth a little bit lower. So we're going to just measure from here, from the seat back to the back of the seat, and it comes in at around about 60 to 61 centimetres. And lastly, putting on the infant car seat, we'll get a tape measure and just go from the back of the car seat back to the back of the seat. Again, comes in at around about 59, 60 centimetres-ish. Okay, the next question is the seat comparable to some competitor seats? It's not really. It's very different in its style. We'll go through in another video the infant carrier and its construction and what it does, and also the Beyond seat too. It's the only seat that does rotate and go up to 125 centimetres and 22 kilos. So I would say it's not comparable to anything. It's kind of a seat that stands out there on its own. Do I stock it? I will. I'll be receiving stock over the coming months. And what is the price? So individually, the prices are as follows. The ISOFIX base is £219. The Go Beyond, which is this, the infant carrier, it's only going to initially come in the black cab colourway that I've got out here just now. It is going to retail at £279, so £498 for both of those together. Then we've got the Beyond, which is the next stage, 125 centimetre, the Swedish Plus Fit tested version. So that modular part that goes onto the base is going to be a range of price depending on the fabric, £399 to £419. The black cab will be at the less expensive end of that range, and then there'll be other fabrics that will vary that price upward. And then finally the Beyond 360 rear facing and forward facing version is a little bit more expensive at £429 to £449 for that component that goes onto the base. And just again, the base that they would go onto is £219. Okay, next question is, can the seat be used with a car's own seatbelt without the ISOFIX base? The answer is yes. I'll show you that in just a second. The second part to that question though was, if you're seatbelting it in, can you use the lie flat technology? The answer is going to be no. Reason being is this part here will protrude out beyond the car seat and it's going to cause issues with getting a good fit. So it needs to be in the standard position. The seatbelt will go across the lap area just like pretty much any other car seat on the market. Take up the slack and around the back and in through the guide at the back of the seat. Just give it a quick check here. Make it nice and firm. And that's the seat installed with just a seatbelt. Okay, a couple of folk asked this question, what's the back length for the highest harness setting? So we'll just get this headrest up all the way to the top. Bring the measure in, down into the bum area, and I think that's pretty reasonable to say 43 centimetres. The next question is, I believe the base is an advanced polystyrene. Is it easily scratched? Difficult one to answer that. I think time will tell. I don't think so is my gut feel. When you say advanced polystyrene, it's a substance called EPP, which is very, very similar to polystyrene, a lot more denser, a lot tougher. Also, it's very light though, so you can make a good solid construction. I shouldn't do this, but I'm seeing no marks being left behind here. This is a prototype, so can't absolutely state that in time with some use you might not get some markings on it. Possibly some small dents here and there, just from it being use wear and tear, as that's the nature of this material. It does not decrease efficiency or performance whatsoever. But I really don't think that there's anything to worry about with that. And the last question is, it seems to depend on the support leg to raise the seat and create the right recline with the universal level technology in the base. Does it take up a huge amount of space height-wise in cars with flatter seats and or lower roofs? Well, I don't really think so. The seat is I-size and there's no caveats put on this seat for any particular vehicle, so we'd be quite surprised if there was any issue here, particularly in newer cars, as most of these are now built to be I-size compliant. So yeah, it does sit a little bit higher. The base at the front is relatively narrow in its height, so I really don't think it's going to cause any particular issue.